Okay, good afternoon, class. So let us start our journey. Okay, so before I start today, I have an announcement. So if you miss a test, there is no makeup test. Okay, so if you miss a test, you can what is that called? Make up that by your final. Even if you miss one or all three test, if you do not appear for the test 1 and 2 or 3, then your final will be average for 1 and 2 for your missing test. Okay, so from the upcoming test there is no makeup. Okay, and definitely if you appear in the test, you will have a good chance to study and to get some idea what kind of test questions will be. Okay, so I gave you a task to watch some videos. How many of you did have chance to watch some videos? Anyone has? Okay, no problem, but I wanted to expedite this some of the topic, but if you do not help me, then what I need to do, either I need to run fast or I need to skip something. Okay, so let us see where did we leave in our last class. Let me go left side today. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so let us see where did we leave. We left in our section 2. What did we discuss? Okay. This is 3, this is 2. Okay, I explained abstraction with a Java program. Right? Okay, so according to our syllabus, actually, as I mentioned that, I am a little bit behind. So this week and in today's class, in our upcoming class, I have to cover two main things: polymorphism and abstraction. Abstract class and interface and polymorphism. Okay. So these are the two things in today's class, and next class I will cover. So I like everybody, please give full attention. So these are the foundation of object-oriented programming. Unless you do not understand these things, you will not understand advanced programming. You will not be able to do good in any software engineering class, or you will not be able to do good as a software engineer. These are the foundation. So please, everybody give attention, okay? So what we will discuss today, we discuss abstraction, right? We started with abstraction. So can anyone help me? What is an abstraction? Remember that I asked the word, what is abstraction? I did not ask what is an abstract class. I asked the definition of abstraction, yes.
Abstraction is basically
a concept. I'm giving an idea, yes.
The concept of abstraction is taking something that you're going to repeat a number of times and making it into a method so that you can keep using it without having to rewrite it over and over again for each individual step.
You have messed up abstraction thing with inheritance. With the inheritance concept. You have abstract means something incomplete, an idea, vague. What do you see in an abstract of a paper? In one paragraph, right? The sheet says the findings of the article in one sentence, the procedure in another sentence, right? Maybe in 2 or 4, 5 sentences it covers everything. So it does not give you in detail. Okay, so what is the advantage of using abstraction? is that the purpose of using abstract thing is to hide something temporarily so that we can focus on something else that are most important currently. For instance, we do not know how the println method works. Okay, so we are using the println method a lot of time, right? So it is not our goal to understand how the print method internally works. What is its definition? But internally, currently what we are focusing, for instance, we are learning how the print method is used. To need to understand how a text is put in a println, how a variable is print using displays using println, like, okay, for instance, this. Sometimes this foundational idea, inheritance, class, abstraction, and polymorphism, these are actually used all over all places and all steps and many places in object-oriented programming. So something maybe I wish after this week you will understand better object-oriented programming. And when you have good understanding of this foundational thing, then you will get interest in programming. Okay, so let us see that where did I leave. Actually, this is my other section. So this is your section, right? So in last time, okay, so I started with abstraction, explain this class. So here in abstraction, we have also implemented inheritance as well as. So inheritance, we need to understand inheritance first, because inheritance will be applicable both in abstraction and polymorphism. Okay, so let us recall, what do we do through inheritance? Through inheritance, we propagate properties from an existing class to a new class, right? Through inheritance is a process. Through inheritance process, one class achieves some inheritable properties from an existing class, that is called the parent class or base class. And by default, all classes in Java, okay, inherits properties from the object class. So by default, even if you do not write extend object, this part it implies actually. Even if you do not write it, it has here. All classes extend, okay, the object class. The object class has some built-in properties. The object class is defined within java.lang.package, java.language.package, java.lang package. Inside java.lang package, it is from the beginning, JDK version 1.0. Since the beginning of Java, this exists. And in C# you can write in O in lowercase, right? Okay, we discussed that inheritance. Okay, so last time we created a vehicle class as an abstract class, and then in the car class we extended the vehicle class. Okay, in C++, we, instead of writing the extends in Java, in C#, we use just clone sign, okay, instead of this extend. So what will happen by extending the vehicle class? What will happen? Whatever properties I do have in my vehicle class, those are non-private. The non-private members will be inherited in the car class. Okay, from here. So we learned that using extend keyword or inheritance is a good property, is an advantage, is very helpful property in object-oriented programming, right? So far we understand. What do you do through inheritance? Through inheritance, we can reuse code. Like for instance, in our vehicle class, we do have some code, okay, written already and established, proved. Okay, then we can reuse some of these stuff in our car class. But inheritance has some limitations. Can anyone think about some limitation, or tell us at least one limitation of inheritance that so far you have realized? Yes. 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 He said the reverse of our inheritance is not possible, right? For instance, a child class, okay, a child class can inherit property from a father class, but a father class cannot inherit property from a child class. Okay, I can inherit my father's property, but my father cannot inherit my property. Okay, that is a limitation. Okay, anyone knows about something else? Anything else? Yeah.
Uh, inherited uh, inherited methods cannot have different contexts, effectively, or different implementations than the parent class.
Okay, he raised the issue. He said in the inherited class, for instance, in my car class, he said he thinks that, what is your name?
Wade. W-A-D-E, Wade.
Okay, Wade thinks that in the inherited class, for instance, my car class, we cannot have a different implementation of the method that already exists in the vehicle class, right? For instance, in the vehicle class, we have run method and engine method. But yes, we can do. But that is called polymorphism. We will learn that concept today or tomorrow, and in the next class. Okay, that is not a limitation. That limitation has been resolved through polymorphism. Okay, any idea? Any more limitation about inheritance you can recall?
Derived classes must implement all the methods from a particular class. So you can't pick and choose the methods that you're going to inherit.
For example?
Yes.
So you said this needs to be re-implemented?
It can't avoid inheriting run.
Okay, you are close. You are very close to mention a limitation. There is another limitation is that there is no guarantee that, okay, the child class will use the inherited property. For instance, here the vehicle class has some property like gate door and set door, right? But is there any obligation that the child class, whatever the child class will achieve or inherit from the vehicle class, the child class will use that? Is there any guarantee? For instance, in another word, is there any guarantee that whatever property I am inheriting from my parent, will I use that? Okay. For instance, even if I have a child and if I give him even a single penny, $1 or even a single penny, and if he does not use that, and if he throws that out, will I be happy as a parent? No. I will not be happy, right? I will tell them why you have thrown that out, right? I gave you money. But he may say that, okay, you gave me money, it is up to me. I can use that or I can throw that out. But in reality, we will not be happy, right? We want that the inherited person should utilize that property properly, right? Okay. So there is a limitation that it's kind of limitation that there is no guarantee that the car class will use whatever methods it inherits from the vehicle class, parent class. Okay, that is a limitation. Okay, and there is another major limitation. Yes. Yes. Yes, as we mentioned that in inheritance we can have only one parent, right? We cannot have multiple parents. Okay, so that is the limitation of inheritance. So at least we got three limitations of inheritance. We mentioned one, and what is your name? John. Okay, John mentioned one, that we cannot have multiple parent class. Okay, now, and someone else mentioned another limitation, that there is no guarantee that we will. What is your name? Ismail. Okay, Ismail mentioned another. Okay, these are the three major and notable limitations. Thank you for that, for finding this out. Okay, now we will see how we can resolve this limitation. Okay, like through abstraction and polymorphism, we can resolve some of these limitations, or most of the limitations. One of the limitations we cannot do, that actually I'm mentioning, that we cannot ensure that a parent class will be able to use a child class property. Parent cannot use child's property. We cannot do that, but we can resolve other three limitations. For instance, we can resolve. We know that we cannot have multiple parent class, right? But there is an alternative way by using interface. We can extend or implement. We can have multiple interfaces. Okay, by using multiple interfaces, we can do something likely as multiple parents, not directly, indirectly. So one problem will be solved by interface. We will discuss interface in our next class. Okay. Another limitation was that there was no guarantee that the child class will implement inherited properties, or we mentioned that we can, through overriding, actually polymorphism is kind of polymorphism, we can ensure that the child class have different implementation. For instance, let us see in our vehicle class. So in our vehicle class, so actually two things I am going to discuss together. One is abstraction, another is polymorphism. Actually these two things are correlated. Okay, these two things are correlated. Actually, sometimes I'm confused which one I should tell first. I choose polymorphism first, or I should teach abstraction first. Okay, so how many minutes do you have? So let us, as we started with polymorphism, abstraction, let us go through abstraction first. But I wish I would discuss polymorphism first. That would be better for me. Okay. So here let us see that in my vehicle class, I have my vehicle as an abstract class. Okay. And then I am this abstract class. Okay. So what is an abstract class? An abstract class is a class that contains at least one abstract method. Right? Then the question is that what is an abstract method? A method that has only signature, that does not have any body, that does not have any implementation, is called an abstract class. So if you declare a class with abstract keyword, then it becomes an abstract. So if you declare a method as an abstract keyword, with an abstract keyword, then it becomes an abstract. So when you say abstract, you cannot have body. That means you cannot have anything like this. You cannot have anything like this. An abstract class, for an abstract method, you cannot contain any body, any implementation. So then when it will be implemented? These methods need to be implemented in another concrete class which class will inherit this vehicle method, this vehicle class. Okay, so if a class contains at least one abstract method, then the class needs to be declared as an abstract class. Okay, so then there is a limitation of abstract class. The main limitation of an abstract class is that you cannot create an object with an abstract class. Okay, so let me show you what do I mean by this. So let me copy my vehicle main over here. You see that I do not have any main method over here. I need a main method. Thus I'm copying my vehicle main. Okay. So let me delete something. Just I need this. You see that I am getting some error in this program code. What is my error over here? The first thing. So I cannot instantiate the type vehicle. That means I cannot create an object by using my vehicle class. Although I see some of you may think that there is no constructor in the vehicle class. Let us see that we already have a constructor in the vehicle class. So, but what is the reason that I cannot call or I cannot use that constructor? What is the reason? Can anyone think about it?
It's abstract.
Yes. Yes, because my vehicle class is an abstract class. So you see that if I hover my mouse over here, you see that if I click over here, it will take me to the class and it says abstract class. So okay, so if I declare a class, I cannot create an instance of this class. I cannot create an object. So then question is that how can I create an object of vehicle type? For instance, here in our discussion, we say that vehicle is an abstract class. If I say vehicle is an abstract class, then vehicle is a concept, is a name or the proper noun. It's called general name of all type of vehicles, right? A car is a vehicle, a bus is a vehicle, a truck is a vehicle, right? Like a vehicle is in general, a general name. That is, we define as usually as an abstraction, as an idea, as a concept. Okay. So in order to, if I say I have two vehicles, so then what do you think? I have either two private cars, or I have a private car and a bus, or I have a bus or a truck. Don't think that I have an airplane. Okay, I'm not that much rich. So that people think that as I say that I have two vehicles, that in general we think that they have two buses or two cars or trucks, something like that, right? So actually, in order to create an object of this is a type of an abstract class type, we need to use a concrete class. What is a concrete class? A class that does not contain any abstract keyword. That is a concrete class. So here the car class is a concrete class. Okay, is a concrete class. That means why do I know that it is a concrete class? If say, for instance, let me delete this part. If I say my public class car extend vehicle. So then you see that it is giving me an error. But if I say my extend object, then it is fine. You see, there is no error here, right? So because the object class is not an abstract class. But when I say vehicle, when I extend the vehicle class, so then it is showing me an error. So what is the error? It is asking me to add unimplemented method. What is mean by adding unimplemented method? Because you see that in my vehicle class, I have some or at least one abstract method. So if I want to extend my vehicle class anywhere by another class, the new or the child class must implement, implement, or that means have implement or to define body of the unimplemented method, that means abstract method. So if I click here, add unimplemented methods, then if you see that it is coming by default, right? It says run method, we need to override. So then what is mean by override? Override is a keyword with annotation. It says it override @ override O in uppercase. Okay, at that way that says that it says that so the run method was initially declared as an abstract method, but that means and as a method without any implementation. Okay, and actually the abstraction, it says that it confirms that whoever claims to be a vehicle, that should run, that must run. Okay, but a vehicle does not ensure that or does not enforce that how that car or that vehicle will run. Because for instance, if I have a car should run in a way like with a small engine. Okay, but if I have another type of vehicle, for instance a truck should have a larger engine. If I have an airplane as a vehicle, then the airplane should run different way, right? That should fly. Okay, for instance, similarly the has engine method, it says that through the abstraction I am telling that this vehicle class will have an engine, must have an engine. Whoever claims to be a vehicle must have this method, has engine. Okay, but it is up to the nature of the concrete class how the engine will be organized, how the engine will be built, how costly the engine will be, how the engine will run through gasoline or what is it called, gas or diesel or electricity, right? It's up to the concrete class implementation that I am ensuring that through this it ensures that any item, any object or any other class that claims to be a vehicle. How do I claim to be a vehicle? I am extending vehicle here, right? So then here my car class is claiming as a vehicle. So the car class must implement this. Okay. And for now, I will discuss about override in our next class. So that is called polymorphism. Actually, I was supposed to discuss polymorphism first. It would be better for me, but I skip that. So let us consider that, let us understand abstraction here. So here, even the override keyword, it is optional. If I do not write the override keyword, so it's skipping, right? Even override optional, and in Java, in C# format, you write the override keyword here, within here, on the signature line. In C# people. Okay, Then let us create the track. Let us see the track. You see the track? So any class, let us create. Maybe some of you are not present in last class. Let us create another new class. As a, what else we can do? We have car and track, right? We can have a new class as a bus, right? Let me show my class as name as bus. I don't need main over here. Okay. You say it says constructor from superclass. I don't need this anything. So let me just select this. Okay, I got my bus class, and if I want to extend vehicle. Okay. So as soon as I say extend vehicle, it is showing me an error, right? What is the error for? I have to add unimplemented method. Okay. So that, for instance, that has engine method, for instance, that you see that I have to re-implement. Okay. That means I have to redesign my has engine body and run methods body in every class, every concrete class. Okay. So, and it is up to me, up to the type of bus, how I will implement it. So let us make some, so when we teach, actually in teach, we write shortcut. Switch out. For instance, I am giving a message, very simple message. So when I run my program, if you see this message, then you should believe that this message is coming from my bus class. Okay, so that for instance, the bus colon has engine called. So if you see this message, right? If you see this message, this string displayed on my output line, then you should believe that this output is coming from this class, right? This method. Okay, and then let me do this same thing for here. Let me do this, the bus run method. Okay, and let me do for the car, same thing. So for this one, I want to say the car class, this is called scope operator. There is in C# and in C++ there was an operator like this, scope operator, but Java does not have scope operator. I want to say run. Okay, and here this one, I want to see the bus, the car class has engine method. So if I see my output line, I see car class, car, then I should believe that this method is coming from my car class, right? And if I see car over here, then I will believe that this is coming from my car. Okay, and I need to do this for my track as well as. So this is my track run method called, and this is my tracks has engine method. I just gave some demo code. Okay, so in order to believe that this method is being called, but when you will go to actual field in work to develop a actual software, okay, then instead of writing this demo code, you will write some code, actual code. Actually, that code may be 100 lines, 1000 lines, okay, the 200 lines, or even if you do something, if you do not have anything in your class, then you need to be an empty, but it must be an empty. Okay, so now so far everybody understand? Has anyone any question? So how long I do have?
You have like 10 minutes.
Huh?
15 minutes.
15?
I was going to ask,
Yes.
When it's forced to inherit those abstract methods, is it just abstract methods that it's being forced to inherit, or must it also inherit any other methods that were inherited?
Okay. The abstract method must be overridden, and other method is optional. For instance, in my vehicle class, I have other method like for instance, okay, constructors cannot be inherited. Any constructor method cannot be inherited. Okay, so forget about the constructor. Then I have other method like get door. These are getter setter. Getter setter are not inherited. Okay, so then maybe I might have other method. For instance, I might have a method that is called test. I want to say public void test engine or test vehicle. So can I do this? What is the error it is showing? You say that if I say I want to, for instance, I'm going to create or declare another method in my abstract class, it is showing me an error. Can anyone please tell me what is the error for? Yes, say the method needs to have a body. It says add body, right? Why do I need a body? Can I skip the body here?
It's because you didn't define the method.
Yes. If I do not say the abstract, then I must have add a body. Or there are two options over here. Change the vehicle text to abstract. If I say abstract, then I don't need to use body. Okay? Then where the body will be? And the body will be in the concrete class. But if I want to say it is not an abstract class, then I must need to add a body. You see that? It automatically even the body is empty. Okay? So let me do that. Okay, so let me do that. This out. You say, let me say that this is vehicle, right? Vehicle class test method. Okay, so the vehicle class test method, if I see this method, then I will believe that this will come from the vehicle class. And now we see that I have added the vehicle test method in the vehicle class, but there is no error in the car class. Because now overriding vehicle is optional. Overriding the test method in the car class, this is optional. Optional. Even if I override at the annotation, override, this is still optional. Okay, let us make it. So let us make it, this is car class, right? So we will see which one is called. Okay. So that was your question, right? Okay, so let us add this one in both our track and this is within track, right? Am I going too fast or too slow?
A little slow.
Slow?
Yeah.
I need to be little slow or little fast? Okay. Okay, so I have set up everything. Now we will learn the concept of two things, the concept of abstraction and polymorphism together. For the next 10 minutes, everybody please give attention. Okay, let us take a break, 30-second break, and so that we can give attention for the next 10 minutes, okay? Okay, so now what we will do, let us fix the errors over here. So there are some errors over here in my vehicle main, right? We want to fix this error first. So how can I fix it? Can anyone has any idea? Let us see that what is my error first over here. It says cannot instantiate the type vehicle. That means, as we know that our vehicle class is an abstract class, right? So although the vehicle class has he is constructor, You see the vehicle class has this constructor, right? Not only one constructor, I have two constructors. But I cannot use any of those constructors. The reason is that my vehicle class is an abstract class. So in general, I cannot buy any vehicle. Either I have to buy a car, or I have to buy a bus or truck or train, right? A kind of vehicle, right? A concrete vehicle. So then what are the alternative way? What are the alternative way that I can fix this error? Anyone has an idea? Yes.
Do new car, new truck, or new bus, do you have to select one instead of doing just vehicle in general?
Yes, I have to use any of my concrete class constructor. What are my concrete classes here? Bus, car, and truck, right? So I can create V1 equal to, say, bus. Then it is fine. You see this happy? Now, or I can say V2 equal to maybe car. Then it is happy. I can say truck. Okay, can I create multiple buses or multiple cars? Yes or no? Yes, I can. I have my fourth vehicle as a car. Yes. Okay. So now my problems are apparently solved, right? You see that my major errors are gone. Okay, now let us see what I can when I call V1 dot. Then you see that when I say V1, so then what are the methods it has? V1 has, or the you say V1 has access to equal, right? This equal method is coming from the object class. Okay, and then get class, it is coming from object. So let us forget about the object class. We will not use the object class right now. So we will think about, let us see it has anything else other than objects. So you see the third one, get door is coming from vehicle, right? Or get color is coming from vehicle. These are in coming from ascending order. So get color is coming from, then get door is second, then again get speed, and then has engine, then what else? So we will focus on the vehicle type. Okay. Look at that, and another thing that we have, vehicle count. You see that, give close attention. You see that on the vehicle count, there is an S. There is an S over here, very tiny S. That means that it is declared as a static. Okay, it says it's static. Okay, but one thing that, okay, the V1 does not have anything like doors and speed and colors. The reason is that doors, colors, and speed, these are declared as private, right? If I make this, if I delete private, then it will be default, right? We said default. Then we will see that now if I say V1 dot, then I'm lucky that I got color, door, and speed, access. Because the door, color, and speed are now not private, right? Non-private. So inheritable, right? Okay. So then I like you, when you go home, I will post this code in my GitHub account. When you go home, then please get this program and then make some changes and play with it. Okay, make some changes, like make some mistake intentionally. Then try to understand why the error is coming from and what the error message says. Okay, and then try to understand something new from your error message. Then it will be helpful for you to understand in depth. Okay. So far, is there any question? Yes.
Can you use multiple inheritance in abstract?
Okay, so we can, we discussed that. We are not allowed to extend multiple classes, okay, through inheritance. We discussed that inheritance does not allow that you are absent in that class. And then, but there is a way, an alternative way to use interface. We will discuss interface in our next class. Okay, maybe I have 2 or 3 more minutes. I want to discuss something else about polymorphism. Now, okay, give full attention. I want to disable this. Can I say car maybe V5 equal to new car? So I have disabled that is that so that it does not show any error message. Okay. Now think about how many of you say yes.
Yeah.
How many of you say no? You said no, right? Okay. I got at least one hand. Okay. So then, can I say my second vehicle V6 will be a car, but what type? Vehicle. Can I say that? How many of you say can yes? Okay, nobody said yes. Okay, then can I say my car, 7th car will be a car, but this will be a bus. Can I say that?
No.
Or alternatively, can I say my, okay. Can we say that? These are the 3 lines. If you understand these 3 lines, then you will understand 1/4 of object-oriented programming. Okay, so these 4 lines, then you will tell these 3 lines. If you understand this, then you will understand polymorphism. Okay, in our next class we will discuss about polymorphism. Okay, but I am showing in one second. I am showing you that. You see that some of these I can say and some of these I cannot say. You see that I cannot say this. These 2 are I cannot say these 2, right? Some of you told that I could. You told me that I can do this, right? But I cannot do this. Why I cannot do this? I will discuss that in our next class when we discuss about polymorphism. Okay? So I'm sorry. So she has some announcement about. You want to take the microphone, please? You want to take the microphone, please? Can you please take it?
So I'm here to make 2 announcements. And the reason why we bothered to come to class is that we find out that not everyone is checking their email. So my first announcement is please make sure you're checking your email. I'm not sure. Does that? No. Same thing. Okay. And so first important announcement, registration for both summer and fall semester is starting on March 18th. And it's starting the same date. So this is different previous years. Usually summer started and then like a week or 2 later, fall started. This year, they start at the same time. So when in March, you kind of like March 15, you go and check your time ticket for registration in degree work, or is that time ticket? Whatever, March 21st. This time ticket refers to both. So you can register both for summer if you want to take summer classes, and you can register for fall at the same time. Keep in mind, if you're taking something in summer that's a prerequisite for fall, make sure you register your summer classes, submit changes before you add your fall classes. So speaking of summer classes, I kind of want to advertise the fact that summer classes give you a lot of flexibility because you have 2-week sessions, 4-week sessions, 6-week sessions, 8-week sessions, and even 10 weeks for some classes like physics and chemistry. So just consider whether, this can be a good option for you or not. Summer classes have a lot of benefits. If you need to repeat a course, and a course that was difficult for you, summer is a great opportunity to just take this one course and focus all of your energy and attention on it. They are a great way to get high demand classes, and actually in terms of computing classes, this summer we're going to have a much kind of like wider or richer option than we've had previous summers. Another thing, to think about the fact that if you factor in summer, you may graduate early, and one thing that I've heard from employers is when they see a person who graduates early, they kind of think, okay, that's a very ambitious, focused, and motivated person, so you can kind of use that to your advantage. And also another thing that usually does not happen with students who take summer classes is that they do not feel this kind of like stress, anxiety, and overwhelming feelings that you would feel if you take the whole summer off, you chill out completely, and then it takes you like a whole month just to get up to speed. So there's a lot of benefits for doing summer. One, if we got some statistics that to me was very surprising, is that actually students who do summer classes have a higher overall GPA. And that summer grades for some of the classes that we know are usually difficult, on average tend to be a little bit higher than they are in the fall and spring. So maybe this intense focus on 1 or 2 classes is paying off. So just consider that. The other important announcement, those of you who are still in freshman status who haven't completed more than 29 credits, you guys, if you have checked your email, you already know that you have an advising hold and that you won't be able to register until you meet with an advisor. Schedule to meet with us early so you're not, waiting during walk-in the week of registration. Please make sure you give yourself time to complete the worksheet that we sent in that email, and that's also available on our website as a link. That worksheet makes the advising appointment much more focused and valuable for you. So the 45 minutes or 1 hour of time that you're going to put ahead really, really pays. I see your hand.
Quick question. So summer semester, we know that you have shopping cart, I forgot what it's called, where you can pre-plan your schedule. And when can you start doing that?
So you can start looking. Summer classes are already posted in terms of when certain classes will have their lectures and whatnot for summer. And you can be exploring that through the Greenworks and through other means. If you have any questions about that, please feel free to schedule an appointment, drop during walk-ins, give us a call, or send us an email about it. And it's just I don't have time right now to answer because, you need to go to other classes. I don't want to keep you. And just for those who have already scheduled their advising hold appointment, first, thumbs up from us. But when the first message went out to you guys on Friday, by mistake, in that message, it was an old freshman planner sheet that was attached. We have sent up a follow-up message with the correct one, and the correct one is also up on our website. You can pick up a printed copy from our office. In the waiting area, we have printed out copies for those. So this is all that I had to say. And once again, check your email. If you're checking it on your phone, we would advise you to get rid of the focus folder because a lot of the important messages are actually going to your other folder. This is something that we have learned by, experience from you guys. Okay? I have some flyers over there with information on summer. If anyone is interested or anyone is not sure whether they would want to do summer or not, just feel free to get a flyer. Thank you.
Thank you so much.